dog! Yeah! Big dog!
The Dallas Cowboys just made a bold move. They've hired former Chicago Bears head coach Matt Eberflus as their new defensive coordinator. This news is shaking up the NFL landscape, and there's a lot to unpack. Let's dive into what this means for the Cowboys, the Bears, and the NFL as a whole. Matt Eberflus didn't exactly leave Chicago on a high note. His tenure as head coach of the Bears was, let's face it, a disaster. A 14-32 record over nearly 3 seasons? That's rough. He was even fired mid-season in 2024, the first time that's happened in Bears history. But here's the thing, Eberflus's struggles as a head coach don't erase his reputation as a defensive mastermind. Before taking the reins in Chicago, Eberflus built his name as a top-tier defensive coordinator with the Indianapolis Colts from 2018 to 2021. His defenses were known for their physicality, discipline, and ability to create turnovers. And let's not forget his roots with the Cowboys. From 2011 to 2017, he was their linebackers coach, helping shape players like Sean Lee into elite talents. Other than these big moments, not made for television, this isn't just a new job for Eberflus, it's a homecoming. So, why did the Cowboys make this move? Well, let's look at their defense last season. It was, in a word, underwhelming. They ranked 28th in total yards allowed per game and 31st in points allowed. That's not going to cut it, especially for a franchise with Super Bowl aspirations. Jerry Jones isn't exactly known for his patience, and this hire sends a clear message. Dallas is serious about fixing their defense. Eberflus's arrival comes alongside another big change in Dallas. Brian Schottenheimer has been promoted to head coach after serving as the team's offensive coordinator. Schottenheimer is an offensive mind, so bringing in a defensive expert like Eberflus balances the coaching staff. It's a smart move, especially when you consider the talent already on the Cowboys roster. Let's talk about that talent for a second. Dallas isn't starting from scratch here. They've got Micah Parsons, one of the most dynamic defensive players in the league. Parsons is a game wrecker, plain and simple. Pairing him with a coach like Eberflus, who knows how to maximize defensive talent, could be scary for opposing offenses. Eberflus's defensive philosophy is all about attacking the ball, so expect Diggs to flourish under his leadership. But it's not just about the stars. Eberflus has a knack for getting the most out of his entire unit. During his time in Indianapolis, he turned players like Darius Leonard and Kenny Moore into household names. He's not just a play caller, he's a teacher, and that's exactly what the Cowboys need right now. They've got holes to fill, especially in the secondary and along the defensive line. Eberflus will be tasked with developing young talent and making sure everyone on the field knows their role. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Eberflus's time in Chicago was, to put it lightly, a train wreck. But here's the thing. Not every great coordinator makes a great head coach. That doesn't mean he can't succeed in this role. Just look at guys like Wade Phillips or Norv Turner. Both struggled as head coaches but thrived as coordinators. Eberflus might not have been cut out to run the whole show, but when it comes to defense, he knows his stuff. And let's not overlook the timing of this hire. The Cowboys are coming off a disappointing playoff exit, and the pressure is mounting. Jerry Jones wants results, and he wants them now. Hiring Eberflus is a calculated risk, but it's also a signal that Dallas isn't content with mediocrity. They're swinging for the fences, and Eberflus is their guy. But what about the Bears? This move also has implications for Chicago. Losing Eberflus might actually be a blessing in disguise for them. His tenure as head coach was a mess, but the Bears are now free to turn the page and focus on building a better future. With a young quarterback in Caleb Williams and plenty of draft capital, the Bears have the tools to rebuild. The question is, will they learn from their mistakes and find the right coach to lead them forward? For Eberflus, this is a chance at redemption. His legacy in Chicago may be tarnished, but he has an opportunity to rebuild his reputation in Dallas. If he can turn the Cowboys' defense into a top 10 unit, it'll go a long way toward erasing the memories of his time with the Bears. And who knows, if he succeeds, we might even see his name resurface in head coaching conversations down the line. Let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. This move is part of a larger trend in the NFL. Teams are realizing that hiring the right coordinator can be just as important as hiring the right head coach. The league is becoming more specialized, and coaches like Eberflus who excel in a specific area are in high demand. It's no longer enough to be a jack of all trades. You've got to bring something unique to the table. Here's what some people wrote. Pretty much, for the Cowboys, the hope is that Eberflus can be the missing piece of the puzzle. They've got the offensive firepower, they've got the star players on defense, now they need someone who can put it all together. It's not going to be easy, the NFC is stacked with contenders, and the Cowboys will have to navigate a tough schedule. But if Eberflus can get this defense clicking, Dallas could be a team to watch in 2025. So what should we expect from the Cowboys under Eberflus? First and foremost, turnovers. Eberflus's defenses in Indianapolis were among the best in the league at forcing turnovers. He preaches a hustle and flow mentality where players swarm to the ball and make plays. This aggressive approach could be a perfect fit for a player like Trevon Diggs, who thrives on taking risks and making big plays. So, we should also expect improved discipline. One of the biggest criticisms of the Cowboys' defense last season was their inconsistency. They looked dominant one week and completely lost the next. Eberflus is known for instilling a sense of accountability in his players. He demands effort and attention to detail, and he's not afraid to hold players accountable. That could be exactly what the Cowboys need to take the next step. Of course, there will be challenges. The Cowboys still have holes to fill, particularly at safety and along the defensive line. The draft and free agency will be critical for filling those gaps. But with Eberflus at the helm, there's reason to believe this defense can turn things around. In the end, this hire is a gamble. Eberflus's tenure in Chicago was a disaster, and there's no guarantee he'll succeed in Dallas, but the Cowboys are betting on his track record as a defensive coordinator, and it's a bet that could pay off in a big way. If Eberflus can bring the same energy and innovation that he showed in Indianapolis, the Cowboys could be a force to be reckoned with. So, what do you think? Is this the right move for the Cowboys? Can Matt Eberflus turn their defense around and help Dallas get back to the Super Bowl? Let us know in the comments.